Final pick! Many months of waiting, many months of testing, and here we are, trying to figure out what I am doing. 4 rackets, Solinco Whiteout 1619, head, Gravity Pro, Tecnifibre Tfight 305, and the last one, Diadem Elevate Tour. Which one will win the ultimate tournament of rackets? Let's start with a banger. Gravity Pro is out from the tournament of rackets. I know it's a shocker for many, but as I was testing all the 4 rackets in one session, I figured that with the Gravity Pro my backhand is slightly worse, and backhand is my better shot. Backhand is my shot where I feel the most stable, so when I try to pick a racket, this is like the most important thing. How the racket helps in the things that I am already the best, so I don't have to look for other weapons that are maybe not there. So Gravity Pro, slightly weird wave distribution, I would say. My backhand feels kinda light. I don't feel the throwing motion kinda, I'm forcing it. And with all the other 3 rackets, I feel it perfectly. So the issue with the Gravity Pro, just too flimsy, but I can't really modify the frame. It already feels like a heavy racket. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe the Speed Pro was a better choice, but I didn't really like 2022 edition. The current Speed Pro is much better, so maybe there, but the spin potential and pocketing on the Gravity is just addicting, and the overall endorsements are giving me more inspiration. When it's really tough, when I'm playing versus tough opponents, it's a nice bonus to have this inspiration and this vision of, yeah, this guy plays like this, maybe I can try to mimic some things, and sometimes it works. This little cheat to the mind, and you know, tennis is a mind game. It's funny that with Prestige Pro I feel this blocking motion a bit better, this throwing through the ball a bit better, and I actually hit a faster shot with the Prestige Pro, so something is off with the Gravity Pro and my swing style. Yeah, that's why Gravity Pro is out. It's getting hard here. Well, so we have 3 frames now. Solinco Whiteout, Diadem Elevate Tour, and Tecnifibre Tfight 305. One is a big brand, 2 others are kinda underdog. Diadem kinda lonely rider, but I give a fair chance for every brand. I played with Angel TC95 for maybe 3 years or so, and I like the frame quite a lot. The only tricky part with Angel is the open string pattern, but it's also a potential in power, potential in forgiveness. You learn how to control this power and spin potential, meaning higher launch, and when you accomplish it, you have an advantage. So if we apply this same thing to my 3 picks, I would say Solinco Whiteout is the closest here, because the 1619 pattern obviously, and it's quite open. The only difference I would say is that I think with the Whiteout the launch angle is still a little bit lower, or the power is a little bit lower, something between those two. So I have a bit more control, but with this more control I kinda lose a bit of this fluidity. Maybe I just need a bit more time finding my best setup with the Solinco. Angel has a thinner beam, so it also gives this better sensation of the ball while you're striking it. But Whiteout has something interesting in it. Also, it's worth mentioning that 3 out of 4 rackets in my final are foam filled. Most of the rackets are kinda heavy when you compare to some other frames on the market. Elevate Tour, Solinco Whiteout, I customize it, so the overall static weight is above 315 grams. The only light racket here is the Tecnifibre Tfight 305, which is closer to those blades that I used to play in 2015, but 18-19 string pattern, yeah, I love it. It's a great inspiration for me because Medvedev plays with it, Djokovic plays with it, now Agassi is a great ambassador, everyone who kinda got in touch with Agassi switches to 18-19 string patterns, so something must be there. When I compete, it is a great thing to kinda, you know, remind myself that some players pick it and the potential is there. It's like giving me this power and spin, and in general all the three rackets that are left are playing with this vision of how much power and control can we give, and this mix is kinda trying to be in the middle. Speed Pro is like let's go all power, all control, not so much with spin. Tfight gives me more spin potential. Solinco obviously biggest spin potential of the three, but slightly giving up on control. Elevate Tour, it's kinda in between. I love the connection, I love the plow through. This linear throwing motion is the best. Tfight has the worst wave distribution. I tried to customize it, it didn't work. It plays just the best in stock form, so it is a bit tricky, but at the same time, with this tricky wave distribution, I feel kinda like the frame is fast and heavy at the same time. So on those flicks I can still flick it and accelerate on defense, for example, and I still feel the plow through while on the normal rally. So yeah, it's a very tricky wave distribution. I would prefer it to be a bit closer to the Prestige Pro, I think, but it didn't work when I tried to customize. Elevate Tour has something like this, but the string pattern, I'm not a huge believer in 16-20. It's like, yeah, you're giving me 16 mains, so a lot of spin, but at the same time 20 crosses to limit the spin potential, to limit the power, to limit the forgiveness. And it's kind of tricky to pick the strings for 16-20 patterns. Like if I go with 125, sometimes I'm shooting a bit too far. When I pick 130, then the 20 crosses are in the way, limiting the forgiveness a bit too much. So it's a very tricky string pattern, I would say. Some might say, hey, but 18-19 pattern is quite closed as well. Yes, but with closed patterns, I can lower the tension like quite much, and I get this power and forgiveness from lower tensions. At the end, I played the best with 130 strings in the Elevate Tour, and I played with tensions, but I'll get there in next episode. So fluidity goes to the Elevate Tour, comfort goes to the Tfight 305. Connection, ooh, I will say it's a draw between Tfight and Elevate Tour. We all know that Whiteout is not the best for feel and comfort, but at the same time I feel like through this kind of stiffness you get a bit more sense of what you are doing with the ball. So it is kind of to ensure you have a bit more control of this explosiveness, because Whiteout is the most explosive of those three rackets. Stability, Tfight is the most stable, then Whiteout, then Elevate Tour. Elevate Tour, sometimes I have issues, and it's already a heavy frame, so yeah, it's a problem. Not a big problem, but it's there when I try to compare all the three rackets. When it comes to the ground strokes, all three rackets are great, otherwise they wouldn't be in the final. Obviously there are some small differences. Control, I will give it to the Tfight 305. The launch is the lowest, but with the lowest launch sometimes I feel like I'm also hitting to the other guys' striking zone, so it's also a bit easier to hit better for the opponent sometimes. With the Whiteout 16-19 I can play kind of this dirty tennis where maybe I make a bit more errors, but the other guy is making even more mistakes. and this is a good problem to have. Overall, I will win the match, right? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out this, how much power I can control versus how much control I can use to my advantage. Volleys, I will say go to the Tfight 305 because it is a most stable frame. I am also thinking about Elevate Tour because it is a slightly thinner beam, so a bit better connection, I would say, but I'm thinking also a bit this little lower stability, so maybe yeah, Tfight 305. With the whiteout, sometimes the ball dies on the string bed, so it is a bit weird and I need to kinda ensure that I have great position while striking those volleys. Serves, I will give it to the whiteout. 16-19 is the most explosive string pattern, so you have best options there. Returns, Tfight 305, obviously 18-19 string pattern, great stability, great blocking sensation, so returns there. Then probably Solinco Whiteout because with the higher launch angle and explosiveness, it's a bit easier to neutralize the ball. When it comes to power, obviously whiteout, but all the three rackets are kind of giving me similar sensation of how much power I want to get out of the racket. So I kind of adjust my swing motion to have this one fluid sensation of striking the ball. I don't want to overcook the motion. I try to be just solid, focus on core stability, on this fluid motion, to kind of play forever, right? I'm a grinder. I don't really need that much power. I use power to neutralize the ball or to counter attack or just to play consistently deep over and over again. Touch and feel. I think Tfight 305 overall feels the most foam-filled of the three. I'm thinking also about the Elevate Tour because the profile is a bit thinner, so it gives me this connection. But again, this lack of stability kind of kicks in sometimes, and you know, my confidence goes a bit low there. So yeah, last thing, slices, right? Kind of obvious that the Tfight has the best slices, most closed pattern, and the launch angle is the lowest. So now it's a decision time. I think overall I could kind of play with all the rackets, but I am looking for inspiration. I know that I want to go deeper in these tennis identities, and I figured that I want to represent those grinders, meaning Djokovic, Agassi, Murray, Medvedev. Those are all grinders, the wall, playing consistent, they don't mind hard work. I kinda feel the same when I step on the court and I compete. I actually enjoy running. When the match is tough or when I'm losing, I'm like, okay, let's make this match physical and let's see who will die first. And it's kind of exciting, like this struggle. So yeah, I want to go with the Tfight 305. Guys, that was a journey, and like I said, the main reason behind the Tfight 305 is this inspiration behind the string pattern and the endorsements. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching, thank you for being with me the whole tournament, and I already have something planned for 2025, so see you soon. Make sure to subscribe. Bye bye.